In this month of April, we are presented with an energy knot, and it is not just any knot. It depends on how you hold it, how you take it, how you untie it or not. It will mark the dynamics that will accompany you from June onwards. That is, the energies that will accompany you will manifest themselves in one way or another, more powerful, more abundant, more aligned, depending on how you now prepare the ground. So it is an important moment, don't you think? Thus, the beings of light are going to accompany us in this podcast and give us 3 key aspects so that you can focus your energy on them and get the most optimal result for you. Stay and let's find out what it's all about. Hello, how are you? I am Marsa Carbonell, professional analyst, and as you well know, every month we share these podcasts to be able to align our energies with the frequencies that embrace us at every moment. Whether they come from the cosmos, from the earth, from social movements, whether from top down or from the middle, which is what the energies lead us to manifest, and how we can somehow always align ourselves as often as possible, then the beings of light told us. Look, we're in power mode. They warned us, huh? In fact, we were notified in January. If you remember the graph that accompanied us, they already warned us that it would be a moment in which energies would become a little tense. We can even see it on a social level. Don't you think it's a little tense at the moment? It doesn't mean that the tension has to be accompanying you, but it does mean that the moment is giving a glimpse of where the rest is going to manifest itself. It is that tension that precedes a great moment, don't you think? So, if at a social level that tension can already be manifested depending on the next step that is taken, the cascading consequences can be one or the other. The same thing is manifesting in your life, in your own life. That same knot is manifesting at your level, at your frequency, at your moment, in your state, whatever it may be, that your experiences have led you to manifest in the past and have brought you here. This is the knot that you are manifesting, and the beings of light tell us this knot as it is. San Nudes is going to make a difference to the rest of the year, practically starting in June. We are going to notice all this that we are sowing now. It is strong, but it is tangible, it is real, and the reward for this process in which we may be involved on many occasions is not far away. It's not that we are going to go 100% on one frequency or another. Sometimes it depends on the aspect of our life. It may be more aligned with one frequency or another. What should be clear to you is that all those parts that you untie were knotted. Of course, not everything was tied up, but all those parts that you untie and put awareness, love, vision, focus on. I assure you that those parts for the rest of the year will be aligned with optimal frequency. And that's a great giveaway, so let's go for it. Come on, let's not disperse. That is precisely the first point they want to look at. The first big question, dispersion or focus. Which are you going to choose? Notice that they tell us that the month of April is going to bring you dispersion. Many things here, this and that, tempting things, some more tempting to your soul and perhaps some more tempting to your mind. And here comes the big what. What are you going to focus on? Energy, look, attention. Be careful, it's important. There may be many things that catch your attention on an almic level as well. So you have to choose one thing or another, which is the one that you are going to be able to really attend to with presence. So this is the first big question and the most important, in fact, so throughout the whole month of April. I would put notes in the diary or I would put notes in the refrigerator. Focus, focus, focus to remember it, or just focus or disperse, so you can go asking yourself that question practically daily. Am I focusing my energy or am I dispersing? Yes, a little dispersion sometimes can be good, but having the overall trend be the focus is going to bring you a lot of energy and physical health. Let's go to the second big question. The second big question is, do I open up to unity or do I open up to fractionation? And this is important because precisely the month of April is telling us that if we untie the knot, we are going to go to a high frequency for the rest of the year. And that frequency is a frequency of unity, a frequency of expansion, a frequency in which the love that surrounds everything embraces you. You know that translates into abundance, of course, both at the level of relationships and at the level of, obviously, economics, and at the level of proposals, and at the level of, anyway, aligned with who you are, aligned with the voice of your soul, aligned with your path and your purposes. What more could you ask for? So this second question is perhaps as important as the first. The first is the most important, because if we don't focus on it, it will slip through our fingers. But the second, it is precisely the gift that he can give you if you take a good look at the first one. What are you focusing on? Do you focus on unity? Do you focus on the unity of your own being? When we talk about unity, you don't need to hug everyone. Limits can be set on the street. You can say no. That would precisely be the approach that question number 1 is asking us when we talk about unity. We are talking precisely about that feeling of belonging to what you feel you belong to. Likewise, there are things in your life with which you do not fit, that do not represent you, but those in which you do merge from a focused place, merge so that unity does not disperse you. You don't have to be unity with everything, with everyone, with every moment. Merge with what you are. Let yourself expand. This unity is going to bring you the greatest coherence precisely in this month. And with the months that come behind us, it should attract the greatest coherence, but also the greatest abundance. Don't forget. So, bring this question to your daily life as well. Do I take myself to unity or do I divide myself? And keep in mind that when you divide yourself into a place where your soul really wants to be, that suits it, that is coherent with it, there is a loneliness. You feel a request in your soul, inside you, and it is a non-human request. It's not a request for, I'm not with people, I'm not sharing my time with people or with animals, it's a request that goes beyond. It's a request for yourself. It's missing you, and that's what this second question is looking for. Find that unity with you, that you don't divide, that you don't give up on yourself, that you don't castrate yourself. So what do you bet your energy on? On unity or on your fractionation? Well, third, big question, resistance or collapse? Oh friend, this one is tremendous. Because in reality, this is almost a consequence of what we have done in the months, weeks, even years before. How's my life going? Almost. It is a question, not so much of a decision, but of an awareness. In this case, because the month of April and the following months are going to bring us changes, they are back on the agenda. We had a small break, but it is over. Changes are coming again. Movements are coming again then. How are you responding? Your dynamics, your emotions, your personal energy, your ecosystem here and now where you are collapses or is maintained with resistance or resilience, whatever you want to call it, because in both cases the word fits. So you have a good foundation. Have you generated coherence with who you are? A good structure in your life. That is important to take into account. Because while we are still in time, if we are unwriting the knot, it is still worth realizing that if there is something that is falling apart, it is that, indeed, that was not the correct step, or at least not from that place. Maybe the step will follow the correct one, but maybe from another place it will be better. Like this. In summary, 3 big questions. Do I disperse or focus? And what I focus on, I choose what I'm going to focus on. Very good. Second big question. Do I surrender to the unity of what is coherent to me, or do I fragment myself? I castrate myself, I give up parts of myself. And the third big question. In the face of the changes that life is going to bring me, am I resistant? Is my structure strong, or does it collapse? Well, with these big 3 questions, can we really dig into that knot? All in all, then I am going to share with you 4 practical tips that the beings of light give us. But first, let me tell you, or let me put you like this clearly. How will you live the month of April? Whether you are well aligned, aligned, or if you are misaligned, misaligned is important because it can still help you on a practical level to figure out if you're on the right track or if you're not on the right track. So I'm going to put on screen how you can feel if your energy is well aligned. Keep in mind that even though we are holistic and that we are a whole, there may be parts of our energy, of our structure, of our emotions that sit a little here and a little there. This is normal and would be logical, interesting, and very, I advise you that you transfer those parts that you feel are misaligned from one side to the other, and they can go to the list of what is aligned. But here we go. If you feel that your energy is aligned, then you are going to feel clarity, you are going to feel focus. You are almost not going to have to put energy into him to tell him this yes, this no. Yes, you are going to clearly feel what is really important. Are you going to have assertive communication? Important because how many times when we are dispersed, sometimes we talk for the sake of talking and it gets out of hand. So assertive communication, neither more nor less, neither for going nor for communicating little is going to be assertive, nor for communicating a lot, it's going to be assertive. It's assertive when it's coherent. Smart flexibility. This talks about that resistance and that resilience that we were talking about. So in the face of changes, you are going to have flexible and intelligently resulting tools to be able to give a good, redundancy is worth it, a good result to the decision. Emotional lightness, because of course we already know that when I'm still dispersed, if not, I'm divided, right? If I give up parts of myself, well, obviously, my emotions are going to be manifesting it from one place or another. It may be through stress, it may be through sadness, it may be through anger, frustration, but certainly my emotions, if I attend to them and listen to them, will be communicating to me. What did you know are how powerful they are when I look at them, right? Unconscious expansion, that beautiful, right? If I give myself to that unit, if I give myself to be, I got that expansion, that undispersed expansion, because I have put focus on it. But when I give myself to that unity of what is coherent for me, where I belong, how nice, right? From where I can be living my life, my steps. It may not change what surrounds me. It may not change who I am, but how do I live it? That's the magic of it, isn't it? Very good. What more connection with divinity, feeling of unity, is worth the redundancy? It's that part in which we said that non-human sadness or that non-human emptiness, that non-human loneliness, well, it's full. That is the grace of the matter and resistance in the face of social, family or work changes and movements. So let's go there for that well-aligned April, right? Doesn't it seem to you, because it seems to be, that changes are just around the corner? Now, how am I going to find out if I am misaligned or misaligned? Well, because I disperse, I am here, I am there. Anyway, it seems that I don't focus because I have mental noise or excessive communication. Mental noise not for me, my mind not for Pam, this and that. And it may be that you are a mentally active person, and that does not have to be something out of alignment. It's out of alignment at the moment it exhausts you. In which you say, I can no longer be in myself. Boo, my head has me exhausted alive. I cannot take it anymore since someone turns this off, right? So there you know that the matter is misaligned, and obviously, as we talked before, that excessive communication, or here I have put excessive, but it would also be worth highlighting misaligned communication, right? Because I can communicate little and also then be somewhat misaligned, impulsive. If I don't let myself get carried away by the momentum, and obviously sometimes we feel the call of the soul, and that step is going to be perfectly aligned, and you say, why wait for me if my soul tells me to stop? And of course this is the moment, but we all know that sometimes we get carried away by impulsivity, to speed up, so I'm keeping an eye on this matter this month of April. Emotional instability. As we mentioned before, emotions speak to us, they tell us. Feeling of being in everything and still not moving forward. It's what we were saying. From this dispersion, I drain my energy by focusing on so many things that I don't really focus on anything. So better little and well done. Energy fractionation, that ancestral request. The beings of light told us that true emptiness almost responds to karmas even, right? How many generations have they had? The men and women of our family renouncing what they are because we have to take care of whether survival or emotional deficiencies or 1,000 other things. Everyone knows their stories, but we know that it has not been easy to embody the processes that our grandparents, great-grandparents, and obviously surely our parents have experienced as well. I'm not saying it's easier for us, we have other challenges, but it's certainly been difficult for them. And how many times do we have the opportunity to fill in here and now? Emptiness that for them was perhaps practically unattainable because they were there in emotional or even physical survival, right? So that energy fractionation that now perhaps we don't have to give up those parts. Let's give it unity. Come on, go, let us do it. And finally collapse, not collapse. We will know that we are out of alignment if we collapse emotionally. Either economically or practically, our structure of life is collapsing. Well, if everything around us collapses, but I'm holding up fine. You mean I'm in resilience, huh? Be careful, but if everything collapses and I collapse with it because it drags me, it's out of alignment. So it's good to be clear about these little things, and maybe you can even write it down. Or surely we are going to make some publication on Instagram so that you can have it on hand and you can be there having it practical throughout the month. Keep seeing and studying it, because precisely when you become aware of it is when you untie the knot, if it was tied at some point. And this untied knot gives you a second one mid-year. Really very, very, very aligned. Well worth it. It is just that one story has nothing to do with the other, with and without a knot. Still, we have to keep in mind that this same knot for many people is overwhelming. Don't be surprised that there are people or yourself in some aspects that say, "Oh, it's too big for me, it's overwhelming, I'm not going to be able to hold it." We are not here to judge ourselves or others. We do the best we can when we can. So this advice, this awareness, if it helps you, even if it is in a percentage X celebrated and in what it does not, well, blessed be the effort I have put into it. No one is forced to do more than they can do. So above all, without judgment or self-punishment, what is possible can be done, what is not, well, no. And the people who surround us the same as far as we can, we accompany, advise, and to where not, well, that's also fine. Let us go practical. 4 practical tips that the beings of light give us. Well, first you're going to imagine it. 1. Focus on the important thing, man. It's logical, right? But in case it wasn't logical, there it goes. It means focus on what is important and urgent that needs to be attended to. Don't get dispersed. There will be many tempting, motivating things or things that will be demanding your attention that may not even suit you. But come on, they may drag you because whatever life is, it seems to be coming. The challenge is coming, so let's take a look at it. Focus on the important and the urgent. No pump the rest, man. Well, if you have energy, you have plenty of time and such. Hey, well, give yourself a little gift. It's still interesting, you enjoy it, but let it be born from there, from enjoyment, and watch a lot that doesn't drag you down simply because, hey, the energy seems to be coming in this direction. Point number 2 or advice number 2 from the beings of light, put order. And what do the beings of light mean by putting order? Well, putting order in your life perhaps implies putting order in your home. That drawer that you open and it's always full of things there that you don't even know what they're for. And maybe then you look for that paper and you don't even know where it is. And like later you say, but where did I leave it? I'm not saying that you have an unexhaustive list of everything you have, perhaps in the closet or everything in the kitchen drawers, but let yourself be carried away by your intuition. I'm sure you may have already noticed it, because when they told me this advice, I said, now I understand why I started organizing. Well, in fact, a drawer in the kitchen that was always full of junk, but hey, in any case. how your intuition leads you, how you have done it, you are starting to live it, or how you are going to live it at the level of the month of April is interesting to discover. I'm telling you, it can be at an organizational level in your home. It can also be at an organizational level in your agenda, at an organizational level on the computer, the photographs on your cell phone, or you will feel that your soul asks you for order. And why does he ask you to order? Because it asks you to focus. Because it asks you precisely that, also that you materialize it in practice. That is, this approach is not only energetic, it is not only emotional, it is not only time. If you materialize it and turn it into matter, it will help you a lot to achieve the other thing. It is as if you prepare yourself therapeutically through external order so that you can put spiritual energy order. Emotional and, of course, physiological order. Don't forget that the body is going to be manifesting that same order that you put on your energies and your exterior. So interestingly, put order on your exterior. And to do so, they tell us, ask yourself, does it focus me or distract me? Does it focus me or distract me? Does it focus me or distract me? And then this reminds me of Marie Kondo, that Japanese woman. The beings of light don't say this, I'm telling you because I remember that energy, not that it makes me happy or it doesn't make me happy. No, when we have like this, the same overload of objects in our home or clothes in our closet, there are no such television programs that help you put order. And you imagine yourself with 4 children, 2 dogs, that is, imagine how much poof you can end up accumulating without wanting it. No, inevitably then. And how interesting in that aspect, asking you, does it focus me or distract me? And if it serves you, does it also make me happy or does it not make me happy? If it makes me happy, it's okay that it also distracts me a little. Even if it's a little pooky, well, here I leave it. Yes, come on, go. We continue with the third advice. Take care of your body, your mind, and your soul, because that is manifesting unity. That is starting unity, not dividing yourself. You can take great care of your soul and forget about your body because you don't exercise, because you don't move it as much. Maybe you work for him and it's hard for you, or on the contrary, you're still taking good care of your body. You move, you go on excursions, you go to the gym, but then your soul is perhaps a little careless and you don't listen to his own voice, your intuition, that which not, and also your mind. Obviously, don't overload her. It is a tool that if it is overloaded, then it no longer even knows where it is. So take care of your body, mind, physical, soul, and spirit within your possibilities. Perhaps a dynamic in which you are already immersed, perfect, maintain it, but if not, pay a little attention to everything a little. And the last fourth and great tip is one which has already come out several times, and it doesn't expire, it doesn't go out of fashion. And how good it is for us, always open your heart, open it, because that gives you to unity, makes you see clearly great answers, makes you be intuitive, makes you not dispersed because you are with an open heart and you say, this doesn't interest me, I'm going to what really suits me. It precisely makes you resilient because it helps you find those answers. Anyway, that there is no waste, that there is nothing better in the world. Well, all things are much better, you get me? But it's one of those things that's super better. Open your heart, how? Well, there are 1,000 ways. What am I going to tell you here? We could be dragging on for a while, but a good way could be just put intention into it, take a deep breath, put your hands on your heart, and visualize how it expands another way. It can be precisely by doing activities that make you happy. Genuinely. What do you like to go for a walk to the forest, to the mountains, to the beach? Do it, it opens your heart. Who do you like to be with? What people does your heart expand with? Well, try to meet them. Find quality time for it, remember. Those precious moments you enjoyed, what gifts life has brought you, right? How many things you have to be grateful for. Gratitude for things that have happened to you, and for the present is grateful for being alive, that you can breathe, that spring or autumn is coming, depends on which hemisphere you are in. Anyway, all these things expand in your heart and we could go on, right? Obviously you can use, sparkling water. With symbols or with your hands or with a written purpose, I open my heart, a good decree, you can manifest it on your altar. There are so many things that help us open the heart that fits with you. Everything will be fine. What serves you is what is perfect. So don't think about it anymore. That's that. That's the fourth great advice. Open your heart, expand, love being alive, love life. Love being who you are. Anyway, it seems that the month of April brings us a little challenges, but what a great gift it brings us later, and that it is worth harvesting. That is, we are going to sow and then be able to collect those valuable, very valuable fruits, because the rest of the year may have a lot of decline. And if we untie ourselves now, we won't even feel that decline. We may still be able to see it and accompany others, but we are not going to feel it the same, so it is really an important and good moment. This is all the beings of light wanted to share with us. At the level of light and consciousness, what can I offer you? How can I accompany you, or how can we accompany you? That you already know that light and consciousness are many souls involved? Well, we can accompany you, as you well know, with that message every month that is ritualized, so that it reaches you and complements those energies that we just talked about, because it can complement that message that arrives ritualized for you. And you can accommodate him even better in what's important. And then you also have a free guided meditation, so you can connect with the beings of light. This connecting with beings of light is something innate in you. It does not belong to 4 scholars or 4 lucky ones who have a gift, because it has touched all of us. The gift seems to be, it has touched us all, to be human beings, to live in consciousness, and I assure you that trees communicate. Animals communicate intuitively, energetically, telepathically. You also do it first because you are an animal, then because you are part of an ecosystem here on planet Earth, and of course because your soul has been doing it for millennia, so imagine, it is part of who you are. We just have to rediscover it, that we have forgotten a little. Well, patience, you have to be patient. We have already said that our last generations have been poor. A little suffered in many cases, not well, and what else too? If you want to and want to go deeper, you can find the course to learn how to channel. And there I share with you more than a guided meditation. Everything I share with you is the knowledge, the tricks, the ways to channel, what challenges you may encounter, pleasant, unpleasant, how to eliminate the unpleasant practical channels in your day-to-day, more sublime channels in short. It is a course for you to learn to channel, but it is really a course that goes deep, and I hope that if it is for you something that makes you curious, and if you have called yourself, you can also delve into it, and that is all. I send you a very big hug, very heartfelt, very from the heart, well expanded, and wishing you that best month of April, well untied. Well aligned, focused, hugging your own unit, and well sturdy. Thank you for being here and making sense of this podcast.